Hey, I'm Andy. Today I'll be reacting to another FLEEKAZOID video, and this one is about Gamescom 2022. It is an older FLEEKAZOID video, and Gamescom 2025, as of this recording, has happened recently, so I figured might as well react to an older one, see if things changed over time, or if they just stayed the same, because I don't remember much from this year's Gamescom, except for I think it was Silk Song was a big thing, and then there was a what was it like it was like a TED talk, but not really showcasing a game where you play as someone breaking into the United States, which was then promptly privated after I think Asmon reacted to it. So yeah, I don't know if because I don't think I've ever seen the older one, so this will be a surprise disappointment. I don't know, so we're just gonna check it out and see if 22 or 2022 was any different than 2025.
Gamescom? More like no Gamescom, because I would wager there was more product placement, cinematic trailers, and other bullshit than there were actual games with actual gameplay. They opened strong with a game called Everywhere. But now what exactly is Everywhere, you may ask, after the extremely vague trailer? Well, look,
I mean, I've played a game called Everything. I think it was like an indie game that I think you can like transform into everything that was in the world and stuff like that. It was a neat concept. I don't know if this one's the same or any different.
the developer came out to clear things up and said everywhere is everything to everyone in every place at any time, then left. So I looked it up, saw the words blockchain, and my confusion turned to anger.
Oh, it's one of 2022. It's like blockchain games. What is this booming, or not booming, but there were a lot, and people were trying to make a lot of blockchain games, even if they weren't good. And even I was interested in, like, to be fair, even I was interested in some of them. Like there was because I'm big into racing games, and there was a racing game that used a blockchain, and I checked it out, but then it required me to go through so many hoops just to link like a wallet, funds, and all that. So I was like, I'm not gonna deal with that. And if any other blockchain games are like that, I'm not gonna deal with those either. So, and then a lot of them just don't look good.
0 out of 10 for this game. Anger that was only matched by the sheer quantity of cinematic trailers. It became a game of Clue, trying to guess based off of the cinematic trailer what buzzword this game was going to be. We had the Dune cinematic trailer, which had everyone hyped until the 5 nifty words appeared at the end. And having put 70 hours into Conan Exiles, I will say with absolute confidence, fuck this game in advance. Then we have...
Has there ever been an update for that game? I don't think I've heard of that game at all. It's an open world survival MMO. There's so many of those, but yeah, Lords of the Fallen.
Lords of the Fallen, not to be confused with Atlas Fallen. Everything is fucking fallen in here. It's like an old folks' home. Coincidentally, though, both have cinematic trailers, although at least Atlas Fallen clipped together 3 seconds of gameplay while flashing me with colors and blinding me with sand, because Wordsong basically just popped in here for 15 seconds to let me know that industry veterans are still employed.
That's... Nowadays, that's not a good sign to see industry veterans working on games, unless if it's like composers.
In here for 15 seconds to let me know that industry.
So we got from industry veterans that brought you Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. Because even Fallout New Vegas, which is a great game from what I like from the I never beat it, but it was a great game from what I played. Like they made Avowed, which you can argue is for a game in that universe is fine, but wow, was it not worth what it was asking for in terms of price? Because I played it on Game Pass, and it was fine for Game Pass, but I would not want to pay what it was asking for. It was like, it was 70 if I remember right, 60 or 70. Yeah, that was way too much. Oh, Dragon Age Inquisition, and then you fast forward into the current Dragon Age, and which is funny enough now on Game Pass. So
Floyd, you love to hear it. Blacktail blasted music way too loud over its dialogue, then you started playing some weird-ass anime noises.
Stop it!
And Scars Above showed us 20 seconds of in-game cutscenes to let us know that in this game, you can discover random rectangular rocks.
If you were to tell me, or if you were to show me this trailer without telling me the game, or without telling me like what kind of game it is, I would have assumed it would be a Tomb Raider game.
Stop it!
Like,
And Scars Above showed us 20
am I wrong?
seconds of in-game cutscenes to let us know that in this
Like the
game, you
next
can
Lara
discover
Croft.
random rectangular rocks. Did we really need any of these trailers? But now let's talk about the 5 games that did have gameplay. After
Oh.
Telltale collapsed for 2 seconds because no one wanted to play their boring-ass games, now
Oh, that's right. They aren't a thing anymore, right? Oh, that I enjoy their games.
2 companies are making Telltale games so they can follow in the footsteps of the great. And one of them is Telltale.
Wait, what?
Coming back from the grave for more,
Oh.
I see. Good on them. The industry, remember,
Okay.
Dead Space was a thing all at the same time, so now we are getting 2 new
I didn't know they came back. I honestly didn't know they came.
Dead Space games in back-to-back months. Not that I'm complaining. Callisto Protocol actually looks pretty great. Think Dead Space, except
Dead Space.
No, on second thought, this is just Dead Space. Gotham Knights was getting roasted for its gameplay, so they said, alright, fair enough. Then decided to hide the gameplay in the next trailer. Personally, I think it's, you know what I think? Hide the gameplay in the next trailer. Personally, I think it's,
10 out of 10.
you know what I think, it looks...
Hey.
It looks good on my end, yeah. No, it looks good. Red Barrels announced a new Saw game. I don't like horror games, too manly to play.
Saw game. Is what? Like of all the things, there in my opinion, there's like some movies that don't translate well into games. Because isn't the whole point of Saw is that like to treasure life or something like that, but then each person's life is finite, and then if they die, then they die in the movie. Like in the games, it's like you die and then you respawn. Like it takes away the tension, but I mean, I never played a Saw game before, so I wouldn't know if it captures that tension really well, or if it's just a whole thing of escape with mini games type of gameplay. It's just one of those things that I don't think would make a great game. Now, if you take movies like even the Fast and Furious series, make that into like a racing game, I'm pretty sure there's a racing game for it, but I never played it. What else? Like Crank? I think Crank it could translate into a pretty decent video game if given the liberties.
To myself, not scared at all, but let's move on. Next, after Xbox acquired every game studio, every game
That's
developer, and all of their bloodlines for the next 1,000 years, the first new Xbox exclusive in a
High
very
Life.
long time is this Ren and Stimpy game, which can be summed up in about one clip.
Anyone here a fan of Justin Roiland? Rick and Morty?
Lies of P is Bloodborne, except
That was
it's
High Life,
actually
right?
on PC. And instead of fighting flesh monsters, you're fighting a Hoover Max Extract 60 Pressure Pro on wheels. Just for that, Game of the Year 2023.
Hey.
And finally, 9 years later, Dead Island 2 looks sick as hell. The gore in this game looks beautiful,
Ooh.
the setting looks nice, and the only thing that worries me is phrases like,
Our zombie slayers have larger-than-life personalities.
and I know people are worried
I think this game came out too. Like, was it good? Like, I've never been that into the Dead Island series. Like, it seems like a decent time I said that wrong. It seems like I would spend a good amount of time in that game with the crafting and the scavenging and all that, but I don't know. I just never got around to playing it.
About this game being developed by the Homefront Revolution people, but on the bright side, it was being developed by the Crackdown 3 people before this, and after the first
But I mean, that's like saying that was like Duke Nukem Forever was being made, was like at when it launched, it was like made by Gearbox, but then it was previously made by 3D Realms or something like that. Like, to be fair, like Randy was on the team that worked on what was it, Duke Nukem 3D Atomic Edition? I don't know if he was on the team, on the base team, but I recall he was in the Atomic Edition's credits. Yeah.
studio that worked on it collapsed, so hey. Yeah, we're probably fucked. But my favorite announcements here today were not games, but every other random item that they decided to lop on. Like Hideo Kojima's podcast. Because the lie you didn't buy Death Stranding, now here he is on the streets with all of us reading
How a podcast? Okay. I'm sure that went well.
Manscaped ads. Or how about the Pikachu car? Now you may look at this fine
Pikachu car.
automobile and ask,
Why does this appeal to gamers?
The Aceman is fully electric, just like Pikachu isn't.
pretty clever, right? Oh, God. And what's their motto?
Never stop playing.
Especially while you're driving. Red Bull's here to constantly remind you that they got sued, and that's why they have to use 3 eyes and wings instead of 1. A little bit of virtue signaling to further prevent us from actually seeing any games in this game showcase. And the future game show was the real show to watch, because in that one, their stream froze for 30 seconds and then came back to ear-destroyingly loud audio, which funnily enough was the most interesting thing they showed in that entire showcase. Oh right, an Atomic Heart and Gungrave appeared at the shack outside the building, and these look sick. Maybe if they threw a really broad release date on and made cinematic trailers, they could.
The captions
These look sick. Maybe if they threw
no release date, still no release
a
date.
really broad release date on and made cinematic trailers, they could have gotten onto the main showcase. But regardless, I will set my money on fire for these day one. All in all, I give this showcase a 5 out of 10. You bring half the games, you get half the score.
So how many what was the games per product placement or a non-game ad was there for this one, for this year? Because like I said, I only remember Silksong, and there was a whole talk about the other game that didn't really show gameplay, that was just more, how was it, like I don't think it was virtue signaling, but I've heard some people say it was propaganda. I mean, I don't know too much about it to give, to give my opinion on if it was or not, but I do remember seeing screenshots of the game and the characters were T-posing. Because, like, how little care do you have for your game to push a narrative that for the screenshots you're going to show in a games convention, you're going to have the characters T-pose. That's just ridiculous to me. But anyways, yeah, this was FLEEKAZOID's review of Gamescom 2022. If it was any different than 2025, then sure, for better or for worse, right? Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.